Hello, wrestling fans. This is the Ugandan giant Kamala. Y'all remember me?
All right, we are back. We're joined by Kamala. Welcome to In Your Head.
Oh, man.
Are you patting the belly right now, too?
A little bit. It's just about feeding time, so it's about time for me now. Yeah, am I on the radio?
Yep, we're on live now. Yep.
Oh, we live now.
Yep.
So, okay, sounds good. I hope I got a lot of fans out there.
Oh, yeah, everybody. I think everyone's a fan of Kamala. Is it hard? Was it different, like, when you started to talk to fans, out of character?
It was because I had a lot of my fans, I started talking to them, speaking English, and they go, "Oh my God, it's Pope." Yeah, so it was different though, because I never spoke to anybody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Back then, they really protected kayfabe, I guess.
Oh yeah, they really protected the business. Then I mean, the heel and babyface, you would never see them riding together. If we did, one would be laying down until we get out of town, and never was in the same dressing room. Oh, it was well protected back then. Now we ride up together, and it still kind of bothers me though. I hate to do it, ride up together with my opponent, and get out, go in the building together, sign autographs together, and then get in the ring and kill each other.
Right. Yeah. I guess with the Kamala characters, it would be pretty hard to, keep that kayfabe all the time.
Yeah, but I did it for years. I did it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just started bringing kayfabe back in about 5 or 6 years ago. But it wasn't easy.
Mm-hmm. You got a question, Incher?
Let's see here.
Get some here from our message board. Do you enjoy being like I guess a lot of people see you as a babyface now, after being a heel for so long.
Yeah, a lot of people take me as a babyface, and I get a lot of emails, and a lot of people buy my music and stuff like that. So that's a good sign of being a babyface.
You can buy that.
Most places I go to, they cheers me.
Yeah. You find that different? Do you enjoy that?
I enjoy it. But I prefer heel any day. I love being a heel. It's just so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Is it funner for you, too, to get the fans to boo you?
It's not easy to get them to boo you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you can go out there, you can stomp, kick, punch, scratch, bite, and do all the heel things, and it just make it so easy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're a babyface, you got to try to make them like him. You got to try to do some moves and make them like that. I just prefer heel. It's so much easier.
Did you ever have any fans try to start trouble with you outside of the ring?
Oh yeah. I've had a few. I've had a few other heel. I've had them to hit me. I had one guy to walked up and hit me right in the jaw, and then when he hit me in the jaw, then I took off after him, but the police had grabbed me. Yeah, they grabbed me, and I mean that hurt. I wanted to hit him back.
Right. When you broke in, did anyone try to stretch you or anything, since you were a pretty big guy?
No, nobody ever tried to stretch me, and I never had it to happen one time.
You think it's because you showed respect to the wrestlers?
I guess so.
Or just bigger than everybody?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I never knowed how to, to shoot or nothing like that. Excuse me. I never knowed how to do that, but I just never had that happen, and I started with some of the old veterans.
Mm-hmm. Who were some of the guys that really helped you when you broke into wrestling?
Well, guys like I don't know if you know him or not, the Great Mephisto, Frankie Kane,
mm-hmm.
and Bobo Brazil, and Percy Pringer. I know you know him, Paul Bearer.
Yeah, we've had him on the show.
Yeah, we still friends today, and the Freebirds. Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy. Mm-hmm. And they're younger than I am, but they helped me a lot.
Yeah. Were you a fan of wrestling before you got into it?
Yeah, I was a fan of wrestling. I once lived in Florida, And I used to watch guys down there like the Briscoe brothers. I was a big fan, and I never wanted to be a wrestler, but I was a big fan of watching it, and I would go to it and attend it live, and I just had a good time. But now I don't even look at it.
You don't watch the current product?
No, I don't. A lot of the guys I don't even know.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
Now, the only time I will watch it is if I go to some of my friends' house, and then they watching it. My grandchildren, if they watching it, then I would, I sit down and watch it with them.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything particular about the current wrestling that you don't like?
No, I don't dislike it. I mean, the part that I see, I wouldn't want to do it the way that they, the things they do, because I couldn't do the things that they do. But I mean, I enjoy it whenever I do see it. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Do you think they should have more like characters in wrestling?
Yeah, I think so. Because that's what I think that's what they come to see. Characters like myself and George the Animal Steel, and those were the days. But all the stuff that they do now, every match almost is a main event.
Yeah, it's different now.
Yeah, because I remember when I was wrestling Hogan and Andre and all those guys back in the day. We go to Madison Square Garden, the Meadowlands. It's just one main event, and we would sell the place out. But now it takes 4 or 5 main events to sell them out.
Mm-hmm. You think maybe that's like, I guess the Monday Night Wars was kind of to blame for that. Because you had Nitro and Raw trying to compete with each other.
Yeah, I just don't, I don't know too much about it. I know what Monday Night Raw is, but I just don't, the events own both companies.
Right.
So, he owns both companies, so he done ran everybody else out of the business, so he just had to fight himself.
You think it's harder to make it in wrestling now since the territories aren't around?
Yeah, it is. It is. Because before it was a place for everybody to go. I mean, like the Carolinas, Florida, all over, but not anymore. Vince is the only somebody on the block now. Well, TNA, but I don't know that much about TNA. I don't know how good they are.
One of the territories you worked a lot in would be Memphis. Did you enjoy working there?
Yeah, I worked in Memphis quite a bit. That's when I first started the Kamala Gimmick back in 1982. And I did it right here in Memphis.
Whose idea was that, the Kamala Gimmick?
Jerry the King Lawler, I might say. He's a real smart man, so he's the one that gave it to. I had started when I was living in England to paint my face, and I wanted to do an African gimmick. And I never did tell Lawler about that when I came to the States from London. Then Lawler just came up with it.
Did it get over well in other countries?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it done real well in Japan, because I didn't get along with the promoters in Japan, but it did real good in other countries.
You got a question from the board, didn't you?
Ryan from the chat room, he has a question. He wants to know, what was it like wrestling Bryan Danielson recently?
Bryan Daniel, I think that was in Connecticut, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, that was my first time ever hearing of him, and first time ever being in the ring with him, but the guy's good. Yeah, so I had a real good match with him. He's really good. He wrestles old school style.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of fans. He made his big name really in Ring of Honor, I guess.
Yeah.
Rios, he wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Umaga gimmick in WWE nowadays?
I've been knowing the kid, I guess since he was 12 years old. And I think he got a pretty good gimmick, but, I think mine is better. But not only me, from a lot of the fans, they said just a version of Kamala, but Kamala gimmick is so much better. And I believe that myself, and maybe it's just because it's me, but I get emails from a lot of fans saying the same thing.
We'll see if it can stand the test of time, Umaga. Someone here in the chat room, Norn Rad, he wants to know if you ever did the gimmick in Africa.
Yeah, I did it in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Did it get over well there?
Yeah, it got over. I think it was 100,000 people at the soccer arena.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. They said it was 100,000 people there. But we had a press conference before, and a lot of the people there from Africa, from Nigeria, was asking me why was I using that name, and they asked me, do you want to be from Africa, or why do you use the gimmick, the name of Kamala, and you saying you're from Uganda? Do you want to be from Uganda? You know, so I was lost for words, and I didn't know what to say.
Right. Why did you win? Sometimes you were the Ugandan headhunter, and sometimes you were the Ugandan giant. Why did you use two different names?
I didn't myself, especially when Andre was around, because he was a true giant, and a lot of promoters just didn't want to use giant, so that was the promoter's idea.
Colin, he wants to know, did you ever break your toes or anything wrestling barefoot?
No, I never had my toes broke, and I got my ankle broke back in 1982. That's when I was in England, but I had boots on when I got it broke.
So you had no problems wrestling barefoot?
No, I never had any problem.
Did you enjoy wrestling recently on TV with Umaga and Eugene?
What was the question?
Did you enjoy coming back on for WWE a few times recently?
I did. It was all right, but I tell you, each time I come back to the WWE, I just want to get in and get out. Get in and get out. It's just so long. You're there all day, and and I know I'm really not a part of the WWE. I'm not figuring in or nothing like that. I'm just there to make somebody else look good, and no, I just really don't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. How about the Diva Search?
That was a surprise for all of us. I really didn't know what it was, so I enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, I guess anytime you get some female fans patting your belly, it's a good time.
Did you show any of them the rocking chair?
Did I tell any?
Did you show any of the divas the rocking chair?
No. No, I didn't. After we did our little thing, I didn't see them anymore.
Well, let everybody know you can get the CD at thegiantkamala.com.
Yeah, that's it.
Whose idea was were you always did you always sing?
No, I just been singing for the past 4 years. About 4 years, I always liked music, and I would kind of hum along with music, but I never did try to sing or nothing like that. But now that I do it, I really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Whose idea?
Yeah, right.
Who came up with the idea? Who Yeah.
Oh, I did myself. Yeah, I did it myself, and bought me a keyboard and mixer and all that stuff. So I have a little studio here in my house, and I just went to work writing my own songs. I got over 100 songs that I wrote myself.
Oh, that's cool. People surprised when they hear it, and that they find out that it's Kamala singing.
Yeah. I get a lot of emails and things like that, and yeah, they surprised to hear me singing, and they say, you once couldn't even talk, and now you're singing and writing. I told them that I learned fast.
Which one would be your favorite song?
Rockin' Chair was one of my favorites, but I have another song now which I really like. It's called Why, and it's kind of about the way I was treated in wrestling, but I don't know if it's up on my site now or not. I got to get another website. I'm getting tired of this one. The guy won't upgrade it.
I'll have to talk to our webmaster. Maybe we can help you out.
I'll
talk to our webmaster. Maybe we can help you out.
Yeah. So I got one called Why now, and I really liked it.
How would you say you were treated in wrestling, for the most part?
I would say that I was discriminated against, and I know people will get tired of hearing that, but let me explain what I mean by that. Is back in the 80s when I was there on a regular basis, I would go to the arenas real early, me, Kimchi, and Dr. Harvey Whippleman, and get me a nice dressing room because I have a lot of work to do. You know, like putting my paint on my face and getting ready for my match. And most of my matches were main events back then. But then the agents would get there and they would ask me to go find me somewhere else to get dressed, and they would put somebody like Hogan, Andre, Randy Savage, some of those guys, in my dressing room, and I have to find somewhere. And I was all out in the arena, finding places in the corner where we were taking towel curtains up so I'd have a place just to have a little privacy, and stuff like that. And the pay was just awful. Mm-hmm. So I think that's, when I drew people.
Right.
Yeah, so I just didn't understand it.
We got a caller here. Who is this?
That's the Fleet.
Oh, you're on the air with Kamala. You got a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask if, who's the best big man Kamala ever wrestled?
Who is the best big man that I've ever wrestled? Mm-hmm. Fuzz being the best in for moving around and endurance and stuff like that, it was Andre. Andre could move and he could really wrestle.
Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy wrestling like the big guys or like the smaller guys who would sell a lot for you?
Yeah, I enjoyed the smaller guys, but now Hogan is one guy. He was a big guy, but I really enjoyed working with him, not because he was the champion, because he had charisma and he could get the people going, and he was just real good to work with. And Bret Hart and Coco Beware, those real good guys to work with.
Mm-hmm. What was it like being in the ring with Hogan? I guess, because he was been the biggest babyface at the time.
It was, I don't know how to say it. It was a really thrill to be in the ring with Hogan, because I don't think we ever had a bad match where we didn't get good response. It was always good to get in the ring with him, and for him to be the champion, he was so easy to work with. He wasn't a temperamental guy. He was just a real easy guy to work with.
Are you got another question, Flea?
Which would you rather do, wrestle or sing?
I would rather wrestle, but I know, I'm too old now to just really, my prime, all that's gone. So now I'd rather wrestle, but since I'm this age, I just try to stick with my little singing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thanks a lot, Kamala. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Another guy I guess you worked for was Bill Watts in Mid-South.
Yeah.
Did you have any stories about working with him?
Working with Bill Watts was the best promoter that I ever worked for. Now, a lot of people don't understand that, but Bill Watts, I made money with Bill Watts for a long time. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't for Bill Watts, I wouldn't have a place to stay now. Because, all the time I was in the WWF, I just didn't make any money. Mm-hmm. I didn't make any money, but when I was with Bill Watts, I made money. I bought me a home. I paid cash for it, and I live right here today, and in my house. And I don't have a mansion or nothing like that, but it don't matter. I have a home here, and I have 15 acres at my house sitting on, so I'm comfortable.
Would you say he treated you fairly? He wasn't someone who discriminated against you?
I hear a lot of people say that he was racist and all that, but he never did discriminate. And Bill Watts had more blacks in his territory at one time than any territory that I know. Mm-hmm. And he paid well, very well. Mm-hmm. He always treated me good. I never had any, he never made any racist remarks or nothing like that. He just treated me good, took real good care of me.
Right. One of the main guys for him was always Junkyard Dog.
What is it now?
I just mentioned that, people say he's racist and everything, but one of his main guys that worked for his company was the Junkyard Dog.
Yeah. Yeah, the Junkyard Dog to Bill Watts was just like Hogan to Vince during that time. He made Bill a lot of money, and Dog made a lot of money himself.
Later on, when you went to WCW for a little while, did you enjoy the whole Dungeon of Doom gimmick?
No, not really. That's a place. I stayed there about 3 months. Hogan had called me and asked me did I want to come there, so I went there and we did all that stuff. But man, I didn't do good at all down there. They wouldn't even give me a contract. Everybody had a contract but me.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't even give me a contract.
What was it like working for Eric Bischoff?
Eric, he had until this day to speak to me. He never did speak to me. And I never had problems, I've never been a problem to anybody.
Right.
He never did even speak. He would walk by me when he would speak. So, I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. Is that why you left? Because they wouldn't give you a contract?
Yeah, I mean, I worked with Hogan. If you remember back in '95, I believe it was the Bash at the Beach.
Right.
I believe that's what it was. I worked with Hogan, and when I got my payoff, it was $800 for a pay-per-view. So that was telling me that I need to leave, that I wasn't well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went to Hogan. I told Hogan, I said, look, I'm leaving. Look, this is $800 for a payoff, and you probably made millions, I said, that ain't fair at all. Well, let me talk to Hogan. Said, well, let me talk to him. I said, I don't need you to talk to him. If I can't, if I'm not man enough to talk to him, I don't even need to be here.
Right.
I left, and I didn't want to hear nothing from wrestlers. I wouldn't talk to wrestlers. For 7-8 years, I believe I was out of the business. I wouldn't talk to them, nothing. That included Vince and them, because Vince and them never did call. Some of his agents called and wanted me to do like, I forget some of the shows, but I wouldn't even do them.
Mm-hmm. Have they asked you to be in the Hall of Fame, the WWE?
No. You said Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
No, they never asked.
You get a question from the board, didn't you?
Colin, he wants to... No, it wasn't Colin. Let's see. Old school. He wants to know, did you paint your belly or did Kim cheat?
No, did I paint it? I did. I did it all myself.
Okay.
And I do it from this day. I do all my painting and everything.
Someone in our chat room wanted to know who your favorite kimchi was.
My favorite kimchi, I got to say Steve Lombardi.
Was he the longest running kimchi?
Yeah, he was the longest running one.
Mm-hmm. When you were in WWE and you did, was like a storyline with Reverend Slick where he was like trying to civilize you. Do you know why that was just stopped? 'Cause I don't think it really had like a payoff to it.
Yeah, what was it now?
It was like you were starting to go with the Reverend Slick.
Yeah.
And he was like trying to civilize you, saying like Kamala was a man or something. And then they never really did much with it. Do you know where that was going? Or?
Yeah, I didn't like it, but Vince told me that's what he wanted to do. He asked me did I want to do it. I told him that, I don't like it, but, if that's what he wanted me to do, I'd give it a try. And I didn't enjoy it at all. Not at all.
Who would be your favorite manager that you were managed by?
The Wiz. He managed me in the 80s.
Uh-huh. Oh, the Wizard, yeah.
Yeah, Curtis Ikea. He managed me in the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple of favorite managers, and, it's hard to just pick one of them, and that's Skandar Akbar and The Wiz. Those are my two favorites.
Yeah. Where did you work with Skandar Akbar the most? Was that, like, for World Class?
Yeah, World Class and Mid-South Sports.
All right. Anything you want to tell your fans before I let you go?
I want to tell all my fans that I'm still around, and I want them to pull for me and my music, and hope that one day that I will get a deal. And I want all my fans to know that I think of them every day, and I dream of them every night, and I love them all.
For more information, everybody visit thegiantkamala.com. We really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Hey, thank you very much. I had a good time. I enjoyed it.
Hey guys, Ray Rougeau here, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com. Keep tuning in every week, and you never know who you're going to hear. Take care, guys.